Yeah, hello guys, Cloudie here, checking in this time from Gesbroy, where we are gonna attempt to do the Mokoko run. This is a speed run kind of thing where you need to collect certain buffs in order to be able to access areas where you can find the Mokokos and the secret quest that is tied to this area. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Now the very first Mokoko is actually just outside the map. You can see it here. You can get this anytime without any buffs. Also, the second buff that you get is tied to a gold purchase, so maybe you want to kind of get a feel for the whole map before you attempt this. Let's see, so we are starting at these kegs. If you click on it, you get this 1 minute buff. And if you get 15 of these, so if you keep drinking, then you will get like this hound looking buff that will let you enter the first set of areas. And the first two Mokokos are actually in those areas. So there is one here that you can enter from here, and there is one here which you can enter by killing a keg here. And I kind of recommend that you actually do this first, get the buffs, and then get the first buff, do these two Mokokos, then come back to the start and get the buff again, and then just start the run over without needing to pick up the first two Mokokos. This will kind of save you a lot of time, and then you are in less in a position where you might run out of the buff during the run, which will kind of screw it for you, because then you have to kind of start over. So yeah, this is my recommendation. But then, without further ado, let's start our run. So here we go, starting with the drinking part. First have to collect 15 stacks of that buff. Luckily it stacks fairly fast, so you don't need to spend too much time here. And once we have it, I should see how much time we have. It is one more 5 minutes. So it says 4 minutes on the timer, but yeah, it's basically 5 minutes. So we are rushing now to the first location, spamming our dash as much as you can. So the paladins aren't entirely mobile, so maybe not the best character to do this on, but at least we are not a gun lancer, I guess. But alright, so we are dashing towards the first location, which just has a keg, so no Mokoko here. This will give us the first buff from the books that you need to read, or kegs, I guess. As you can see, it will appear. This one is a 2-minute buff, but at least this one gets refreshed every time we read a new one. I should have like made that disappear, but you know, rush anxiety, so not easy. Okay, so we are coming up on the second location, which will have a Mokoko, but I already picked it up before the run, and it will also have a keg, so that will save us some time here. So there is the keg, and the Mokoko is behind the other keg. You can see it there in the background. So I do not need to pick that one up. That saves me a bit of time, especially because I don't need to look for it anymore. So again, I definitely recommend picking up the first two just before getting into your run, because yeah, it's 300 gold for that ticket. So and it's quite close actually. So yeah, not fun if you miss out. Then you are kind of screwed. Okay, so here is the big keg that we need to kill. Yeah, paladin DPS, let's go. Alright, that's a very tanky keg. Okay, can it die now please? Alright, now it's dead. So now we can enter the third location, which is, it has a keg. It also has a Mokoko. It's like further down in the map, but I don't need it right now. So again, do this before, in my opinion. Since there is not that much time left now, and now we need to buy the buff for the golden ticket, or we need to buy the golden ticket for the amazing buff actually. Now the ticket itself you could buy before the run and just use it at the bell. That would probably save you a little bit of time too, actually. That would be one option. Just make sure that if you have the ticket, do not click on the golden bell when you are not doing the run, because it will immediately get used, and yeah, it's 300 gold, so not fun if you lose out on it. Okay, so here is the bell. You just use it, and then we keep running, and this should pop a cutscene here. It does pop a cutscene. It's like yeah, some performance, some dancers doing stuff. It's not terribly interesting, and it does take a lot of time, so I recommend skipping. because otherwise you might run out of time. You can see that the first buff is now pretty low. It shows 2 minutes. And we need to cross this beam here, which is so slow. I wish there were like options to speed these things up, like ninja skills that you can learn from like roster bonuses or something. That would be kind of cool. Faster climbing and stuff, or not always failing jumps and having to climb up. So this is 4x4. Now we have the third buff that we need, and there is a Mokoko here as well behind the barrel. And now we get into running backwards and to the other side of the map actually. We have to climb all over here, and you can see that's where we are going, to the top right corner. And our buff needs to last that long. It is gonna enter the last minute very soon now, just to make this a little bit more exciting. And we have to cross the whole entire freaking map to get there. That's yeah, and I almost missed a turn there because I blame the drunkenness debuff, because imagine seeing things. Alright, so we are heading towards that final turn. So just up there and to the left we go. And inside. And once you are inside, you can find the first Mokoko. And to enter this place you need all 3 buffs. So if your first buff expired, and you can see the time was pretty tight, then you are screwed. And you can look at the barrels now. Now you are kind of out of the hard part, because this was where the only part that you needed the first buff for. Now we just need the final Mokokos, and those are fairly easy to get. You only need from now on the amazing buff, and that has still like 7 minutes, so we are pretty good now. Can relax a bit. Also, yeah, still a little bit of rushing. And this part that we are going to now also has a secret quest. I haven't done that yet. You can pick it up here and they will send you off to some other place, I think. But yeah, so we come here and we need to jump over. Wow, that's a jump we actually didn't fail. Usually the character is just hanging by the hair or something. Okay, so this is the quest that you pick up. It's about some beer, of course. What else? So you pick the beer, and there should be a Mokoko right there. If I wasn't blind, that would be so good. And then we can head out of this spot and go for the final 2 Mokokos. So we just jump over. We ignore the quest for now because we are still on a timer, even though it's like not a super tight timer anymore, but it's still a timer, and I prefer to read quests and stuff. So instead of reading the quest now, we will just head for the for that quest right now. So let's see. We need to head down to the left and use this rope to propel us to the section below. And then just run next to the bees, who will of course aggro on us, because why wouldn't they? We'll get rid of them soon. And this is where you jump up, and don't do what I do, that you run on without actually claiming the Mokoko, because it's actually right here, the first one. But I'm in a bit of a hurry and I miss it, and I'm like, oh god. So instead, pick up the first Mokoko before jumping up, and then pick up the second, but because you can't go down here, so you have to go back up. Thankfully the timer on this now is fairly long, so it's okay to make this mistake, but try and not do it if you don't wanna, you know, mess with yourself, I guess. So you go and rush to the bottom side. And go back where our friends the bees are gonna aggro us again. Actually I missed the one that was aggroing me, but whatever. So I just jump up again here, and they put that Mokoko pretty close to the jump. Like you see, you need to run a bit further on, and that's where you get it. And this is 9.9 now. So yeah, I hope this little guide helped you guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And this has been Cloudie for now. Bye bye.